Back in Syracuse as the Crunch gets set for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, second matchup of the season and the final one against the Phantoms this year. It's the second game of the week for the Crunch as Syracuse kicks off a 3-3 weekend. On Countdown to Crunch Time presented by Supercuts, I'm Lucas Vivani with Crunch head coach Ben Grew, and Ben, it is the second game of the week for the Crunch. First one was Tuesday, a makeup game in Binghamton, a 4-0 win for the Crunch. What'd you think of Tuesday's game against Binghamton?
I really like our game overall. I thought we're very focused, disciplined, good effort across the board. So overall, a very good showing.
And a pretty solid defensive effort. Obviously a shutout, the 9th of the year for the Crunch, but it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of grade A scoring chances either again. So pretty solid defensive effort on Tuesday.
Yeah, solid effort. But like I said, across the board, I think when you look at our guys, there's a lot of players who had a good game. So I'm very pleased with that.
And that was coming off of a tough weekend, a couple of games against the Toronto Marlies. So to see the team have a nice response, after that on Tuesday must have been good for you to see that response.
I really feel it's our approach, like one game at a time, and it's maybe from outside people can think that it's a big win and it's a huge loss and bad weekend and all that. But for us, we really have that approach, and we turn the page whether we're playing well or not. Try to get better the next day. We try to learn from everything we do, and I think our players are buying into that, and I think so far they're doing a great job.
It was a 4-0 win against the Devils, 8th win in 9 tries against Binghamton this year. It also meant the return of Hubert Labrie to the Crunch lineup on Tuesday night. He had been out the last couple games with an injury, so that I'm sure helped boost him. We talked about it a bit yesterday after practice, getting some guys and some reinforcements now at the busiest stretch of the year.
Very important to have those guys on the ice, not only to play but in practice as well. When you go on the ice for practice and you have 17, 18 bodies, it's discouraging at this rate of the year. But when you have a lot of guys, like you have good reps, you have good time to on the ice to work and to give a second effort to teach. So it's important to have our team healthy at this time of the year.
And especially a guy like Hubert Labrie, who is a veteran on this team. He can be a leader, and he plays such a solid defensive game. To get him, like you said, either in practice or in a game is also helpful.
He is a leader by example. I thought his timing was a little bit off last game, but he'll get better. And those guys are so valuable for our team. Like, they lead by example. They do what they have to do every day. And you know what, Lucas? A good player, you don't talk to him much during the season because they know what they have to do. They do it every day, and I think those are the best. When you have to talk to a player every day, every second day, 3 times a week, it's because this guy needs teaching. He needs to be remind what he has to do and to be put back on track. And so I think UB's one of those guys that you give him the plan, he does it.
And that has obviously been very helpful for the Crunch this year. It was, as we said, his return to the lineup meant back to the 11 forward, 7 defensemen. Still some decisions to be made for tonight, but you mentioned a few weeks ago, going back to the 4 forward lines of 12 guys. But when you go 11-7, what benefits can that also provide for the Crunch? For
us, 11-7s because we like our defense. Like right now, if you ask me who's out, I don't know. It's tough, and it's a good problem to have, but it's tough for us to sit out 1D because we're happy with pretty much everyone. And so I think the best balance for a hockey club, it's 4 and 6. But it's when you feel that your group of defensemen are playing well, and you feel that it can be something that makes a difference during the game, why not? And right now, like I said, I think Dennis is very close to play. We'll know for sure after this practice here. But it's going to be a game time decision tonight.
And, we're not obviously at that point yet, but with this schedule getting busier and as you get healthier, and with 8 healthy D on the roster, gives you a chance maybe to kind of piece some guys together, maybe get a guy a day or two of rest as well.
We're going one game at a time, And but when we look at the long-term plan for the month of March, you got to think that our plan is to use everyone, like give ice time to everyone. But we also got to win hockey games. Like we're in good position in the standing, but it's a day-to-day thing. We got to keep getting points here and there. Got to keep winning games, and so it's a balance of make sure we don't get tired, make sure we still performing on the ice and in the standing, and try to use everyone in the lineup.
Crunch are coming in off of a 4-0 win against the Binghamton Devils in that game. It was a kind of a breaking of a drought for Boris Kachuk. He got a goal in the game, came late in the second period. He's been doing a lot of things on the penalty kill and things of that regard, but to see him, get back on the board offensively, where do you think he is now as we head into March?
You know what? It was great to see him back offensively, because if you look only at the numbers, he hasn't been produced at all. But if you look at games closely and you look at the chances he set up for his teammates, there's a lot of going on in his game. Like, I think he hang on to the puck more, skates more with it. He's more patient down low. He believes in himself more. He's got more confidence with the puck down low. So I think he's been on the ice for 6-7 chances every game, and not only on the ice but participating to those chances. And I think his offensive game quietly is getting better, and it was good to see him producing. But I hope that he's going to keep that confidence going, and he's going to be able to produce and help our team win more games until the end of the year.
Crunch are getting set for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. It is the final matchup of this season. The only one was in Allentown in December. It was a shootout win for the Crunch. A pretty entertaining game, but it's obviously a lot has changed since then. What can we expect here tonight against the Phantoms?
They're a top team in the league. Even though lately they seem to struggle a little bit, they're a top team in the league. They have so much talent across the board. They have 4 lines. They have a deep lineup. So for us, it's got to be ready and play our game.
Looking forward to tonight as the Crunch take on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. This is Crunch head coach Ben Grew. Ben, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
All right, thanks.